Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Southwell. I'm the Senior Trade Investment Commissioner for Austrade in South Asia. My good friend, Ms. Harsha Rai.
Pulses in India is ever growing, and hence India imported a record 7.3 million tons of pulses during the financial year 2024-25 to bridge the gap between the domestic demand and indigenous production.
Hello everyone. Myself Harsha Rai from Mayur Global Corporation. As Mr. Bimal Kothari mentioned, we are one of the major indenting firm in the pulse industry, and I'm really excited to share the red lentil outlook today with our audience, valued Australian growers and suppliers. So I'll start my presentation here. Red lentils is majorly a winter grown crop, a rabi crop in India, and we have just harvested our crop for this year. The major growing area for lentils in India are Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, and I come from central part of India, Madhya Pradesh, which, as I mentioned, is a major growing area for lentils in India. So this year we saw the growing conditions to be quite okay in terms of lentil seeding as well as the lentil growing period, and we harvested a good crop. We have come up with a good production. This has all been helped by the MSP increase that we have seen in last couple of years. If you can go to the next slide, Rahul. Yeah, okay, I'll continue. So the MSP hike that we have seen in India has been phenomenal. It's been almost 32% MSP hike that we have seen in last 5 years. So the area for lentil seeding has been going higher in India from last many years, but our yields have been very stagnant, and this is the reason that we have not seen the production going way higher. Like if we talk about this year, the seeding was a bit higher than last year, but again, if we see the latest advanced estimate that have come a week before by the government, it says the production is marginally lower, 1% lower than last year. So our production this year stands out to be around 1.77 million ton. This year, if we look at the quality of red lentils in India, it's very good. We haven't seen a lot of damage in the crop. The quality is wonderful, and the production, as I mentioned, is as good as last year. Now, what is changing in our market is the demand dynamic, which we have seen from last few months has been very challenging. Not just for lentils, but I would say all the commodities, the market has been very challenging last year especially. All other pulses prices have also been trading at a quite lower level. So what has changed in terms of demand for red lentils? I would start with the substitution point that we saw in last 2 years. We saw lentils working as a substitute for other pulses like chana and pigeon peas, which we might not see this year because all these pulses are already trading at a much lower price. So that demand for the substitution demand for lentils that we have been seeing from last 2 years around 15%, 10 to 15% might not be possible this year. And if we talk about the normal demand, the regular demand for lentils is right there, but the exports have been a little lower than last year so far. We have seen exports of around, say, 150,000 tons so far this year, which was around 200,000 tons last year. Now, if we look at the recent policy change which has come up in terms of lentils is that the government of India has introduced a 10% import tariff on lentils effective from 8th of March 2025. So this includes 5% AIDC and 5% basic custom duty. Now, this policy shift is a result of the normal or the comfortable situation in terms of the stocks that we have right now in India. If we talk about our production, which is around 1.7, and if we talk about the stocks that the government has, it is around, like, the buffer stock that government has, it is around 750,000 tons. Then we have our port, the stocks at various ports in India around 300,000 tons. So this gives us a very comfortable situation in terms of the supply side. And as I mentioned, in terms of the demand side, we will see the regular demand of red lentils, a regular year demand that we have seen from couple of years, which is increasing, of course, with the consumption, changing consumption pattern. So in terms of basic market scenario, I would say that we are in a very comfortable supply demand situation right now in terms of red lentils, supply, production, and buffer stocks with government. In terms of import, if we see this 10% duty is definitely affecting our imports at this point of time. Also, the importers in India are closely watching the scenario in Australia and Canada, where the seeding has already been done. The seeding is
Harsha, you are on mute.
am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, sorry. So in terms of monsoon, we saw the early monsoon arrival, but we have seen a break into the rainfall so far. So the market is closely watching as what will be the normal distribution of rainfall going forward in terms of Kharif seeding, because it is very important to see what is going to happen with the other pulses production in India. So I would just conclude that, in terms of market scenario, the market is in a very range bound situation. The buyers are very cautious in India in terms of making their import decisions or making their local decisions. The important factor which has been affecting the market right now would be the stocks that the importers, the millers, the traders are getting is basically coming from the government. On one side, the government of India has been very phenomenal in terms of buying lentils at MSP from the growers, but on the other side, they have been disposing or they have been selling their previously bought lentils in the local market, which is very much available for the market, and that is trading at a much lower price. Which is making our market quite range bound at this point of time. So going forward, the buyers are quite cautious to see, first of all, how the government will sell this buffer stock in the local market, at what price, in what quantity. Secondly, they are closely watching what is going to happen in terms of weather, in terms of other growing areas like origins like Australia, Canada, and other origins. And lastly, the market is closely watching what is going to happen with monsoon, because that is going to decide what will be the production of the Kharif crop, especially pigeon peas. So I think at this point of time, it's a very cautious approach by everyone in the trade for red lentils. Thank you. I would now like to invite Kapil Dev from Vaidera, India, to give us a presentation on chickpeas.
So we started 2024 chickpea crop as per the estimates down by almost 10%, attributed to bad weather situation at the time of harvest or just before harvest, which has impacted the yield of the country and impacted the overall supply situation of the largest pulses India has.
First of all, I'd just like to tell something about our country, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a tropical country. It's mainly we are focusing on tourism, and also we have a small exports of spices and other products.
Folks, obviously, we are able to assist with all of these commodities around the place. How much chickpea and lentil will India import in this year?
Well, I think, as I mentioned, that right now India is sitting in a very comfortable position when it comes to lentil stock. But as we are watching very keenly on the Kharif progress, the seeding progress, and what kind of production we will see for the other pulses in coming time. So I would say, and also we have seen that our imports have been declining this year already. So going forward, it all depends upon the other pulses prices and that kind of situation. So I would say maybe 500,000 ton of imports is possible. We are not looking at a very huge import this year, I would say. As I mentioned, India is sitting in a very comfortable position when it comes to lentil stock at the moment.